family, thank you guys for joining the video for today. So I hope you guys understand a little bit what is going on right now. There is something going on that will change everything, and this video, this is a perfect example, guys, of showing you what is going on. Again, I've been mentioning this maybe 1,000 times on this channel because it is very important, guys. This can really position you and your family in a whole different in a different financial position. So if you understand what is going on, you can position yourself. And if you just neglect this, well, that's another thing. That's your choice, right? But let's dig in and let's see what is really going on. Remember, guys, I always say there are 3 assets which you really want to consider of holding or having in your portfolio, or even in the back of your pocket, right? These are gold, silver, and XRP. These are, in my opinion, there are others, but these are, in my opinion, like the golden 3. If you have all of those, you are in a very favorable position, literally. At least get XRP, at least get some silver. Gold is a little bit more expensive, but still, if you can, you should definitely consider it. Let's take a look at this video, guys.
In both cases, in whether we're talking the BRICS currency or the Shanghai Corporation Organization, they will both use gold to peg to their new system. Whether it be a new BRICS currency that will be pegged to gold. Remember, in order to get everyone to the table, all you have to do is say, look at what those bastards in the West are doing. They're going to freeze your assets. They're going to kick you out of SWIFT. Heck, Europe just voted to take the assets that they froze from Russia and use them to rebuild the Ukraine. So all of these other countries who maybe don't really like what the U.S. is doing, well, that's the rallying cry. It is the gold pegged to a new system that will be the glue that makes it work. So whether it be the BRICS currency or whether it be the petro yuan, which is immediately convertible into gold on the Shanghai Gold Exchange, or the new settlement currency by the Shanghai Corporation Organization, do you think there's any coincidence? Do you think that this is any coincidence that the central banks have bought more gold than at any time in the last 55 years? Look at the 3 countries that are leading the way. Turkey just joined the BRICS. India's in the BRICS. Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, all of these countries are part of the Shanghai Corporation Organization. They are preparing for a global shift. We are witnessing a massive de-dollarization, and here's the nail on the dollar coffin.
De-dollarization, guys. This is the key, right? What will happen, and this is remain to be seen. No one can tell you what will happen, but what will happen once that de-dollarization happens? Like that moment, that bang, like it's over for the dollar. It's not the world's reserve currency anymore, because it's happening, whether you like it or not, right? And that's the trigger point for these 3 assets. That's what I've been saying. Now, all the prices that you are seeing are against the dollar. So what happens when the dollar gets inflated by so much, guys? Because they have been printing so much, and they're telling you that they're going to use 2 trillion as a loan program, as an emergency fund. Guys, it's way more than 2 trillion, okay? They're gonna print at least 6 or 7 trillion to cover up what they have been doing. The problem is they cannot cover it up anymore. Assets will go through the roof. This is hyperinflation, guys. Understand this picture. Once you understand this picture, you cannot go wrong, because most of the people are distracted. They're just distracted. They're watching the news. They're doing stupid stuff. They're distracted to understand what is really going on, guys. So that is why you can position yourself very well.
Just came out a few days ago. Saudi Arabia said at this latest meeting that at Davos, that they are open to taking other currencies for oil settlement. Why? Because there's strength in numbers. In and of themselves, these countries cannot stand up to the West. But together, they have a bigger GDP, a bigger military presence, and they are indeed coalescing together against the Western hypocrisy, against the Western hegemony, and they are coalescing against the West. It's happening. It's happening. I'm telling you, this is happening. The world is moving to de-dollarization. There's no question about that, but let's just play it out for 1 second, right? What happens? How does it happen? How does the Great Reset that Klaus Schwab talked about happens? It's really very easy. Saudi Arabia gets up on stage after all of the I's are dotted and all the T's are crossed, and they say to the West, hey, thank you. Thank you for the memories. It's been great. We appreciate the 50 years of protection. But you know what? You guys are going green. You've already told us you're going green. We've partnered up with 80% of human population, and they're not going green. And so we're going to open up oil sales in other currencies. Maybe they say we're just going to do it in the new petro yuan.
Now this is the trigger, guys. You understood that, right? Once Saudi Arabia, and they already did this, they already made a preparation for this. They already said that they're going to use the petro yuan. He's saying it, the new petro yuan, because that's what it is, right? They're going to use it. Once it's official, that's it, guys. That's it. That's the trigger point, right? And we're very, very close, especially with what is happening with all these banks and all these things in the world. Very soon we will get this statement. And don't tell yourself, like, don't say that you have not been warned, right? Because a lot of people just don't believe in these things. While they're so obvious, I do not understand what else are you seeing, right? But it's just how people are, right? Project Icebreaker, a bridge currency is used to find the cheapest and quickest path to make the swap. Now, with all that we know, listen to this, right? Listen to this Project Icebreaker from the BIS.
Communicating or sending large amounts of data around the world is cheap and easy. But sending money to another country is usually expensive and slow. The way money...
Now, I ask you guys, who makes that comparison? She says that moving data is very cheap and easy and fast, right? And then she says money is very expensive and slow. Who else did make that statement before? There is literally no one else who makes that comparison except for Brett Garlinghouse. He said we can send an email very fast, but we cannot send money that fast. He's literally the first one that I ever heard say that. Literally the first one. And now they are also using the same language. That is what I've been talking about as well. They're using the same language at one point.
Travels across the globe relies on many intermediaries, increasing the complexity, time, and cost of transactions. One of the main difficulties is that most payment systems are designed for domestic payments, not for international payments, and often do not communicate with similar systems in another country. The reasons for this vary, for example, due to differences in legislation and technical systems, and different working hours in various countries. The development of central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, and the underlying technologies that can be used could offer a solution.
Underlying technologies could offer a solution, right? Again, it is very plain and obvious. The narrative that Bitcoin and Ethereum are somehow superior has been manufactured, paid for lie, and everything Ripple has been through was because of the superiority of XRP. Ask yourself, why did Ripple just not go to another country? Why are they staying in the US? Well, I can tell you guys, because they want that clarity so that they can start using it globally, right? That's the whole point here. So here we have another video talking. The manager of Swift, look what he's saying, guys. Another thing that just adds everything up.
A bit of a crossroads. Where does Swift come into this? How can Swift work with them to make it easier for them to adopt digital assets? Because that seems to help every other organisation out there.
I mean, if you look across digital assets, or indeed digital currencies, the common thread that Swift can help solve for is actually doing things once for the financial community, so that those 11,500 banks and corporates don't have to repeat that many times. So we will naturally exist in the sort of collaborative innovation space, and we naturally look for challenges that are best solved as an industry rather than by those sort of individual institutions on their own. And we think for example, connecting with new digital asset platforms, that's where we can add value, ensuring interoperability between those platforms, through standards, through API connectivity and so forth. That's where we can add value. Similarly, in the digital currency space, interoperability between new digital currencies and existing payment systems, we can add that value. So, we want to look for our banks connected to Swift to fiercely innovate and produce new services themselves, and then we help them solve the problems and challenges and opportunities that are best solved across the industry.
Again, very simple, guys. Same message. The same thing is happening. We are very, very close. It's 17 March, guys. Keep your eyes out. Thank you very much for watching the video. See you in the next one. Cheers.